The final stage of the clean runner process takes place right here with reverse osmosis. It's necessary to meet DEQ and EPA standards if they want to reuse the water for irrigation. This ending result of a high-speed chase between the Wyoming Highway Patrol and an alleged kidnapping suspect from Colorado. Unmaintained areas like right down here are not only an eyesore, but they can also lead to allergy and potentially fire problems. The biggest issue law enforcement in Wyoming faces when dealing with this new texting while driving ban is determining whether someone's actually text messaging or just looking up a phone number, because in most cities in the Cowboy State, it's still legal to talk while you drive. Let's take another peek and see how much accumulation has piled up in the past 60 minutes over towards this tree. Court records I obtained did not mention the victim's name, but what we can tell you, and we have confirmed, is that Robert Spoonhunter and Kieran Tillman have been charged in connection with the death of Marissa Spoonhunter and selling them to the general public for $10 to promote breast cancer awareness. Now they must wait up to 2 weeks for it to cure. As soon as that's complete, they'll then flip sides to this side of the bridge. We've written legislation that would require all 7th graders in the state to be vaccinated against bacterial meningitis. Jebediah Stipe and Ty Oliver McDowell pleaded guilty on all charges this afternoon, and while they entered those pleas, McDowell was so hysterical that he was speechless to a certain degree, while Stipe, however, was emotionless. Looking through this affidavit in my hand, I found the police department in Yakima, Washington received a complaint from Stipe's ex-wife that he was soliciting people online to rape her. But as of today, they were seen allegedly in Gentry, Arkansas, right up in the northwest corner right there, and that's at least 5 states now where the couple has been hiding. Now they just need to explain how the Easter Bunny makes eggs. If diamonds are a girl's best friend, then the citrine is a dog or cat's, at least here in Casper. Because welcome back, everybody. Family Fun Day is an event that Fort Casper puts on throughout the year. Parents brought their kids out today so they could interact with toys from long ago. Speaking of cold fingers, join us again tomorrow night for more winter weather team coverage. I'll tell you all you need to know about wind chill and how fast hypothermia can set in. Getting a pet like Nellie here, spayed or neutered, can eliminate the euthanasia cycle and can do to humane societies and animal shelters exactly what they want. Super Bowl Sunday needs to be a holiday and no one has to work the next day.
Well, maybe that's something we can pass.
I think a lot of people would agree with that.
I think it puts me in jeopardy. It puts my customers in jeopardy. And like dropping them off at the county line, what happens if they don't make it down here and they wander to somebody's house?
Linda Henderson didn't receive an explanation after a sergeant with the Converse County Sheriff's Office dropped an unstable man at her business. One witness declined to go on camera, but describes the action he saw.
Strange. It was just strange. It was interrupting traffic, and it just nothing make any sense.
Eventually, Natrona County authorities were called and arrived in about 15 minutes. To Henderson and her customers, it was 15 minutes they wish hadn't happened.
I couldn't believe that Converse County would come in and just drop a guy off because he was totally distraught.
Converse County Sheriff Clint Becker says it all started from a verbal confrontation between the man and his girlfriend in the Rolling Hills area. Becker says the man was compliant, although at one point he laid down in a Glen Rock parking lot. Although the Converse County Sergeant gave the man some money to get to the Central Wyoming Rescue Mission, Becker says he doesn't endorse the way things were done.
I would have preferred that he either had taken him to the mission in Casper himself and dropped him off at the mission, or had contacted a deputy from Natrona County to meet him at the county line so they could transport him to the mission.
Henderson says Converse County has done these drop-offs before.
This is the first time that they actually pulled into the parking lot and dropped them off. Normally they'll drop them up on the county line.
However, both Sheriff Becker and multiple officials from the Natrona County Sheriff's Office say this is the first time they've ever heard of this. To one community member, one time is more than enough.
I don't think they should be dropping their people off in my neighborhood. I live out here. I've been out here for 35 years, and I don't appreciate people being dropped off out here. We get enough dropped off animals, pets, things like that. We don't need to have problem people out here, too.
Chad was the most gentle, kindest guy. He was just sweet.
Chad Ferguson, shown here with his dog Pete, was killed after these 3 men robbed his home on June 20th. As Ferguson turned his back on the 3 criminals, Edward Lee Hayes shot him 3 times, one of which pierced his heart. Now Hayes will spend the rest of his life in prison, something the Ferguson family agrees with.
We never wanted revenge out of this. We just wanted something that says he can't do this to nobody else.
The Fergusons made these pins to keep the memory of Chad alive. Holly Ferguson says it will be a long road to forgiveness after feeling anger, then sadness about her younger brother's murder.
Our family has pretty big hearts, but I don't know if I could ever find it to forgive.
Much has been made about Chad Ferguson hanging out with the wrong crowd, but his dad and sister insist that's not the type of person he was. Chad's mother died shortly before Chad's murder, and Holly believes that may temporarily have sent him down the wrong path.
I really truly believe that maybe that's why he accepted these kind of people into his life.
During his sentencing, Hayes addressed the Ferguson family and told them while fighting back tears, quote, "I hope you can forgive me, not for my sake, but for yours."
I hope he truly meant that, because it's true. I know that. I know that I need to forgive for my heart to be healed.
Robert Ferguson says his family isn't the only one losing a loved one because of the incident.
It's a sad part on both sides.
Just miss my brother, you know, I miss him.
Drew Douglas, K2 News. I've gotten the confidence because the weather's starting to clear up that I'm actually out of the press box and standing in the elements. 22 degrees as a high today, 10 degrees below our normal temperature for the beginning of January, and you can see our days are starting to get just a little bit longer as we get towards daylight savings time in the spring. Highs in Riverton a little cooler, 16, 11 in Worland, just 1 degree in Big Piney, warmer over towards the eastern portion of your state, especially Sheridan and Torrington, 31 degrees for them. Your lows, 12 below zero in Riverton, 15 below in Worland, 1 below in Douglas, and 22 degrees below zero in Big Piney. So a lot of cool spots in your state. Downright frigid right now in Big Piney, still 10 below there. We're 20 here in Casper, as is Douglas, and you can see that trend a lot cooler over towards the western portion of your state. But as you move over here, even flirting with freezing in Torrington at 27 degrees. Wind has died down here in Casper. We were in the mid-20s for most of the afternoon, but things have decreased as the evening has gone on. 23 miles per hour in Rollins and 20 in Cheyenne. Wind not an issue at all up north or in the west. So your wind chill feels like 23 below in Big Piney, which means prolonged exposure can cause frostbite in under 30 minutes. 18 below in Worland, Lander 2 below. Casper feels like 9, so we're not too bad considering what we've seen a lot of the past week. Clouds decreasing, still a lot of clouds towards the airport and towards the mountain, but clear down in Cheyenne and clearing up towards Gillette and Campbell and Crook County, and just a few clouds out towards the west. Here's what's moving in the system. Actually, pretty clear skies coming in. Some snow up in Montana, but that is going to miss us well to the north. We'll be in pretty good shape. We are just a little bit cooler than our neighbor to the south, Denver. They're 22, right on par with Salt Lake, and Minot is 1 degree. Tonight, 7 degrees as a low into the early morning, mostly cloudy skies, and that wind chill could get pretty cold out there. So if you're an early riser for work, be careful on if you have an extended period of time outside. Southwest winds right around where I thought they would be. 7 degrees Casper, 4 in Douglas, mostly cloudy skies down in the southeast. Very small chance of snow in Gillette, and that continues to decrease as the night goes on. But look at these overnight lows in Worland and Riverton, 13 and 12 degrees below zero. Tomorrow, 25 degrees is a high, so kind of like we were today. But we should see more sunshine out there, fewer clouds than today. But that wind chill again with those 15 to 20 mile an hour winds out of the west-southwest, 10 below zero potentially. Close to freezing in Torrington, at freezing in Cheyenne, so should be a partly cloudy, very nice day for Matt Mead's inauguration. Tomorrow in Cheyenne, 16 in Riverton, 17 in Worland, mostly clear skies down the southwest as well, and 15 degrees in Yellowstone. Put a chance of some snow up in Gillette, but that's very early morning, ending up with a partly cloudy day as it progresses. Blowing snow in the forecast, no new snow to accumulate in Cheyenne, but just windy conditions for the next 4 days with warmer temperatures, and that could push some of the snow around before a chance for some snow on Sunday. Chance for some snow on Sunday as well in Riverton, warming up to 30 by Saturday, and there's going to be some fog on Monday evening into Tuesday morning. You might want to be aware of with some very cold overnight lows during those days. Windy in Casper as well for the beginning of the week. But what else is new? 37 degrees, however, on Thursday. That will be a sight for sore eyes after seeing a high of 1 degree, I believe, on Friday.
Now, did you say that it was Lander that was going to be negative 23?
I think it's Big Piney.
It was big. Oh God, I do not want to
But
be
Lander,
there.
I think, is 12 below or right around that. Riverton's 12
At
below.
that point, it doesn't really matter anymore. It's just cold.
Like I said, it's just how fast your face goes now.
Right. Okay, G, thank you so much.
And further east, you're right. Our Jeff Schuman headed to the field where both teams are looking to go over the 500 mark after early season losses to the Sheridan Broncs. Kelly Walsh drew first blood after junior Terry Jackson bangs in a 2-yarder for the score. The extra point was blocked. On the next drive, Cheyenne East, Jeremy Woods runs it in from 5 yards out. East goes up 7-6. They do make their extra point. East QB Trevon Hinker finds senior wide receiver Garrett Bradley on 4th down for a 37-yard reception, and a 14-6 lead ensues. East continues to come on strong. You're going to hear his name all night. Jeremy Woods again returns this punt 87 yards, putting them up now 15. Look at him go.
Nice moves there, Drew.
Absolutely. And you know, we had Schellenberger contributing to 4 touchdowns. Mr. Woods had 5 touchdowns on the night. We'll show you another one a little later. The Trojans' first drive of the second quarter, Terry Jackson's second touchdown run, this time from much further, 46 yards. He had a good game for the Trojans, 21-12. East now just a 9-point deficit. But here's that man again. Jeremy Woods has 2 scores, but he tells Jackson, anything you can do, I can do better. Muscles in a 2-yarder for his third of, as I mentioned, 5 touchdowns, 28-12 East. Kelly can't come back, losing 49-25, falling to 1-2 on the year. And like you said, not going to get any easier for them. They're playing the undefeated Mustangs in the Oil Bowl next week. Drew Engelbart is down in Laramie right now and joins us on the phone. Drew, tell us, with so close to kickoff, what's the atmosphere around the stadium right now? Always a fun time in the prep sports world as we get towards the end of October, November, because championships start getting on the line, and you start seeing what these teenagers are really made of.
That's right.
The Rockies and Pirates, top of the 9th, Pirates up 5-2, but Ian Stewart sends a majestic drive into the seats to tie it up at 5 apiece, his 16th of the season. Pirates don't score in the preceding inning, as you can see there. Ian Stewart pointing up to the clouds for that 3-run shot. In the 10th, Todd Helton. There's his 3rd bomb of the year, a 2-run shot into the right field seats. 7-5 Rockies lead it. His back must be feeling better after that rehab assignment here in Casper last weekend. But the Pirates do not go away. No, this would not be easy. As Todd rounds the bases, Andrew McCutcheon against closer Houston Street takes one deep to right center field. Looks like if you take a look at this closely, it's the top of the wall. He'll end up at second base. Now, the umpires are going to take another look at this. Some of them think it's a home run. McCutcheon himself questioning it. Umpire there calls it a home run. Upon further review, they decide here's the replay. Not a home run. Ends up hitting just below that top tier. So it will be fan interference and a double. Now, Street retires the next 2 batters before Garrett Jones walks with runners on 1st and 2nd for Pedro Alvarez. Third baseman hit a 3-run home run last night. Oops, he did it again. A 3-run shot into the night. The Pirates walk off with an 8-5 victory, breaking the hearts of all fans across the Rocky Mountain West. The Pirates win it 8-7 at PNC Park.